Hello and welcome back everyone, I'm Pirate Master Murdoch. In today's video I'm going to show you how you can make a sloop. So let's jump straight into it. First things first, you're going to want to head over to the crafting menu just over here at this little anvil, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the pirate sloop, which is right here, but you can also just search it up like this and there you go. This might be easier for you if it's your first time. Always use the search feature if you need it. So let's look at what we need to make a sloop. This video is going to be a top-down approach, so hopefully that helps you understand how to make a sloop. And then at the end, I will show you a bottom-up approach in a super quick and easy way. So first things first, what you're going to notice is you need a completed sloop plan to make a sloop, as well as these three items here, which is the iron sight, the wooden helm, and the cotton sail. But we're going to ignore these three things right now, and we're going to focus on the completed sloop plan. So luckily, if you searched up sloop, you can just click on the completed sloop plan right here, and you can see that you need the plans for the sloop 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order to craft one of these. So now you're probably thinking, well, how do I get these plans if I can't craft them? Well, what you got to do is you got to go over to your quest, which is right over here like this. And when you get to here, there are two options you can do. You can actually search up here in the search bar for sloop, and this will actually give you all of the quests that give you sloop plans. So you'll see here the slippery sloop. You'll notice that you have the odds of 25% chance of sloop 1 through 4 plans, and you'll see that it requires a high seas map and a billy club, and we'll get into that in just a second. You'll notice that the other item here gives you a 12.5% chance of a sloop 1 to 4, as well as a galleon plan 1 to 4, and we'll get into the galleon stuff in its own video. But for right now, if you're looking for sloop plans, there are two quests you can do every single day. So the port in any storm has a 1-day cooldown, and the It's a Slippery Sloop has a 23-hour cooldown, so you can pretty much run these both once per day. You also need to have a pirate level 6 in order to run It's a Slippery Sloop, and then you also need a pirate level 15 to run any port in a storm. So your pirate level is important on creating a bigger and better ship. So now let's look at how do we get a high seas map and a billy club. And for this, we're actually going to ignore the billy club, and you'll see why we ignore it, because the high seas maps are more important. And again, if you want to find it really quickly, all you do is go into the search bar and you type in high, just like this, and you'll see every single quest here has a chance of giving you a high seas map. So you'll see a pirate's best friend gives you a 10% chance, and you'll see it costs a faded map and a compass, cut to the point faded map, and a spyglass, which again 10%. Meet Billy, this one you'll actually notice that it is a 10% chance of getting a high seas map and a 35% chance of getting a billy club, which, boom, brain explosion, you'll notice that you needed a billy club to make a sloop. So if you're putting 2 and 2 together, Meet Billy, this quest right here, you need to be doing every single day if you can, because that's how you get the billy clubs, which you use to get a sloop plan. So what you should be doing is doing this quest every single day that you can. For reference, you can run this quest every 8 hours. You need a level 8 pirate to run this quest, and you also need a mermaid scale and a faded map. And I'll show you how to get these items in just a minute. We're just going to continue off getting high seas maps. And you'll notice here too that the next one here, you have a 10% chance of getting a high seas map, 35% chance of getting a dagger. And you'll notice that these 4 quests right here all require a level 8 pirate, a faded map, and then one of the tier 3 items, which is the compass, the mermaid scale, and the spyglass. So if you can, I would suggest you run all 4 of these quests every 8 hours if you can, to maximize your chances of getting high seas maps. Now, there are some other quests you can do here that are more expensive, but they do have normally slightly better chances of getting a high seas map. This one, moving on up, you don't get better chances at high seas maps, but you get a chance at a grappling hook, which is used for some of these more expensive quests. So it is still important to run this quest if you can. And again, you need a level 9 pirate for this. The next one is Find the Lost Isle of Gold. This is one of my personal favorite quests to run. You need a level 11 pirate, and you can see here 10% chance of getting a high seas map, but you also have a really good chance of getting a lot of pirate gold or marks. So I also like to run this quest. You can see here it is quite expensive, 3 tier 1 items each, and you can run this, I believe, once a day, so every 23 hours. And I believe moving on up is also once every 23 hours, so once a day. And you'll notice that as we go down this list for high seas maps, the pirate level is higher and the cost to do these quests is also more expensive. So if we look at Bobo's Bounty, again, a 1 day cooldown timer, you need a grapple hook, which we got from 2 quests ago up there, a faded map, and then a monkey totem, which is very expensive to craft. It's 2,500 pirate golds for one of them. Very, very expensive, but you'll notice that you have a 30% chance of getting a high seas map with this quest, so you do have a boosted chance. The returning party favor, this one, again, quite expensive. You need a goblin totem, again, 2,500 pirate gold, and this one you have a 25% chance of getting a high seas map, but also 1% chance of a worn copper coin, so that is extremely worth it. And then the next one you'll notice is a Parrot's Down. I believe this one has like a 5-day cooldown, which is insane, but you need a parrot totem. You also need a musket and a faded map. And then this one you have a 35.5% chance of getting a high seas map, which is pretty good odds. And finally, the last one you can get a high seas map is from the Glitterfin's Glory. This one you have a 40% chance, but again, it is very expensive with a goldfish totem, a grappling hook, and a faded map. So I would not really suggest doing any of these higher level quests right here. So any of the 14 to level 18 pirate quests, I would kind of avoid. I would focus more so on these level 8 quests right here because they're easier to do. So now let's look at how we get faded maps, because we're going to ignore the compass and the spyglass and the mermaid scale because the faded map is a little bit harder to get. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the search bar and type in faded, just like this. And as you can see here, every single one of these quests will give you the chance of getting a faded map. Now, I do want to say is I would actually skip over all of these first ones, the level 4 ones, and actually look right at these level 6 quests right here. And the reason why is because 1, these need level 3 tiered items, which we obviously needed for high seas maps as well. So you'll learn how to get these really quickly, but you'll also notice that in the loot odds for these level 6 quests, you have a 20% chance of a faded map, which is really good, but then a 25% chance of the hemp rope, and this is important, and we'll get to that later on in this video. The next one is Hunt the Mecha Whale, which again, you need a level 6 pirate, and you'll notice that you have a 20% chance of a faded map, and then a 15% chance of these nails, and a 15% chance of the cannon fuse. And again, these 2 items are important, and we will come back to this later on in the video, but it is important to remember that you get these from the level 6 quest, which also give you a chance of getting a faded map. Next is the Weather the Storm, and again, you'll notice 20% chance of a faded map, and then a 15% chance of getting this item, as well as the wooden column, which again, these 2 things are important, and we'll get to that later on in the video. So just a quick recap, when you're looking for faded maps, ignore these ones because honestly, they're not really worth doing it if you're trying to make a ship like the Sloop. it's way better just to do these level 6 quests right here. There's 3 of them, and you require the 3 different tier 3 items. And I'm going to show you how to make all of these tier 3 items right now. So instead of searching for the compass, the spyglass, and the mermaid scale, what you're going to do is just hit the X, and you'll notice the very first 4 quests here, which are the level 1s, you'll notice that they give you these 3 tiered 3 items that you need. So literally as soon as you hit the quest, it's literally like the first 3 quests. 8 energy, a level 1 pirate, and all you need is 2 tiered 2 items, and I'll show you how to get those in just a second. So literally these quests, super easy to find. It's the first quest in the quest menu. You need a level 1 pirate, 8 energy, and you need tier 2 items. So let's go and look at these tier 2 items. So one of them is the iron anchor, one of them is the wooden oar, and the other one is the cotton net. Now in order to get these items, you have to go over to your crafting menu. And you'll notice right in the crafting menu right here, here is the cotton net. You need 3 cotton to make this. And if you're putting 2 and 2 together, that means for the iron anchor, you need 3 iron ore. And then for the wooden ore, you need 3 wood. Now, if you don't know how to get that, you can simply go back to your main screen and then run over to your ship dock right over here. I have a sloop with a Halloween skin on. You might have a skiff or another ship. If you're just starting out, you'll have a skiff that looks kind of small like this, but click on your ship and you can go on your ship and you can explore over to other islands like so. And then you can actually get on these islands and you'll notice this little ore right here, this little node, gives me 1 cotton for 6 energy. This one gives me 1 for wood, and there are other ones for iron as well. So these nodes give you the chance of actually getting your basic tier 1 items, which means you need to go and explore to get the wood, the cotton, and the iron just to, you know, get some basic resources. And these are what I call the tier 1 items, and you get them just from exploring. Once you've gathered up enough, you know, cotton, wood, and iron, you're going to head back over to your main island, go to the crafting menu, and you're going to craft these 3 tier 2 items, right? And those 3 items there, once you get enough of those, then you can go to your quests and you can go and do all of these level 1 quests right here, which will get you your tier 3 items. Right? And once you have your tier 3 items, you can either search up faded maps or you can use the scroll bar. And remember what I said about the level 6 quest? Well, you can scroll right down until you see the number 6, which you'll see right here. You see here's 6, here's 6, and here's 6. Here are the 3 quests here to get the faded maps. And remember, these quests, you also get these other items here, which are super important for making ships. And I'll get to that still in just a second. So once you do these 3 quests and you get some faded maps, then you search in high in the search bar, or you scroll down to the level 8 quest, which are these 4 right here. And again, once you have a faded map, you'll be able to burn that with the tier 3 items that you now know how to make. And you'll get a chance of a high seas map as well as a billy club, which is super important. Now, once you have all of that, that is when you can actually type in Sloop, which will bring you to the It's a Slippery Sloop, where once you have a high seas map and a billy club, you can craft one of these and get your ship planned. Right? And once you do this, you know, 4 times might take you 5 or 6 times, however many times it takes you to get one of each, then you'll be able to go back to the crafting menu, click on the sloop, and you'll notice that you'll be able to make the completed sloop plan. So you can just find that down here and you can craft one just like this, just crafting one so you can see. And then once you have it crafted, you go back to your sloop and you can actually see, look at this, I have my completed sloop plan here. Now it's time to get into these 3 other items, which I said to ignore earlier, because you're actually going to realize that it's way easier to make these items than you thought. Now, these 3 items you can actually all craft in the crafting menu. So let's start off with the iron sights, right? We'll just type in the iron sights. So I'll type in iron and you'll see here, oh, here's the iron sight here. There's also an iron cannon and iron armor, which you can ignore these 2 for now because you don't need these to make a sloop. So let's click on the iron sights. Okay, well, look at this. You need 250 pirate gold, 25 iron ore, which you should know how to get both of these pretty easily just from exploring, and then the iron needle. Wait a minute, do you not remember this picture in one of those quests that we did? Well, this quest, if you go back to your quest and you search up faded maps, right, you'll notice it's one of the ones that you needed in these 6 ones. So if you look here in the Weather the Storm, the one quest that you run to get a faded map, you get a small chance of getting the iron needle as well as the wooden column, which are both important, and you'll see why you need the wooden column in a second. Which means when you're farming for faded maps, there is a high likely chance that you're going to get some of these iron needles and wooden columns, which means when you go back to your crafting and you search up for the iron sights, chances are you're already going to have one of these just from farming faded maps, which makes life super easy because then you can make one of them. So now let's look at the next one, which I believe was the helm, which if we just type in helm or just like that, the helm, there we go, you'll see, wow, look at this. We needed the wooded column, which was in the same quest for the iron needle. So literally from running one quest to get faded maps, not only do you get the chance of getting 2 items you need to create the items you need to make a sloop, but you also get the chance of getting the faded maps. So it's like a multi-purpose quest. And again, you need 1 wooden helm, 25 wood, and 250 pirate gold, right? So now you'll notice when you go to make a sloop, just from doing one quest to get the faded maps and high seas maps to get these, you end up actually completing both of these fairly easy just from doing quests to get the completed sloop plans. And now the last one is the cotton sail, which you can search that up, but it's also right here. And you'll notice you need a hemp rope, you need 25 cotton and 250 pirate gold. And if you remember, the hemp rope was in one of those level 6 quests, which was in the Defeat the Mermaid King right here. You have a 25% chance, and it is one of the level 6 quests you need to get a faded map. So super, super, super easy to get all 3 of these items just from not even focusing on making these items, but just focusing on getting the completed sloop plan and the sloop plans. By doing that alone and farming the things you need, you'll actually likely get all of the items needed to create a sloop and make it super, super, super easy. So as you can see, it's relatively easy to make a sloop. And now I'm going to show you a quick bottom-up approach into making a sloop. So you'll be able to do this in your daily playthrough. So to start off, you're going to want to go exploring like this. You click on your ship, you go explore, you go to the islands that you find in the Infinite Isles, you collect your wood, you collect your cotton, you collect your iron if it's on the island, and you also click on the chest to get pirate gold. Once you use up a day's worth of energy, maybe you want to spend a week just, gathering these basic tier 1 resources. Then you go back out into your home island. You go to the crafting menu and you look for the cotton net, the iron anchor, and the wooden ore. You make, however many you want. Just like this, I can make 10 of each. 10 is a good number. Maybe you want 20, maybe you want 30. That number is up to you. Once you do that, then you go to your quests. And you want to make sure the search bar is empty. And what you want to do is you want to run these 3 quests right here. They are the level 1 quest, which keep in mind these numbers up here are really important to look for. And you'll see why in a second. So you run these 3 level 1 quests. Once you run those enough and you get a bunch of like your tier 3 items, I would recommend, try and get like 10, 15, or 20 of each before moving on to the next step. Then you scroll all the way down like so. And then, hello, we hit the level 6 quest right here. Then you're going to want to spend your energy and your tier 3 items in running these 3 quests right here. Defeat the Mermaid King, hunt the Mecha Whale, and weather the storm. And this will give you the chance of, getting the faded maps as well as the other items you need to make the other items for the sloop. Once you get enough faded maps, that's when you're going to scroll down even more. And then you're going to stop at these level 8 quests. These are the ones where you have the chance of getting the high seas maps. So what you're going to do is you're going to run all 4 of these quests every 8 hours if you can, burning a faded map and a tier 3 item. Hopefully you will get, a high seas map, and hopefully from Meet Billy you will get a Billy Club and a high seas map. Now, once you get a high seas map and a Billy Club, as soon as you get one, then you go to the search bar and you type in Sloop. Once you get to this, you click on the very first quest here and you run that quest. That will burn 1 high seas map and 1 Billy Club. Run this quest as many times as it takes until you get a sloop plan 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you get those, then you head to the crafting menu, you go up here, you type in sloop to make life easy, you make your completed sloop plan like so, then you click on your pirate sloop, you'll see this completed, and then you go and craft these 3 items, which you should get from farming high seas maps and getting the sloop plans. You'll likely have all the materials needed to make these. You just search them up in the crafting search bar here, make however many you need. So you need 1 iron sight, 2 wooden helms, and 3 cotton sails. You make those, and then you can go and craft your very first sloop, just like this. And once you have that, you are officially done completing a sloop. And when that happens, head back out to your main island here, and then click on this and equip your sloop to your dock like so, and you'll have a new ship. And I would also suggest going to your decks and actually editing in your sloop versus having a skiff like so. That way you can have better and stronger decks when you do the gauntlet. So that is a quick video of how to make a sloop. I will do the exact same thing for the other 2 ships, the galleon and the frigate, but it is essentially the same method, just searching up frigate or galleon instead of sloop. So it's super easy, and hopefully this helps you out. If you still get lost, you can either comment down below, you can reach out to me on X, you can reach out to me in the Pirate Nation Discord, or you can just comment down below and I will try to answer as fast as possible. And one last thing, if you also want to start playing Pirate Nation, you can use my code PMurdoch. I will leave the code down below as well as a link, and you can start playing Pirate Nation and start your journey as a pirate as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Yarr!